around? Why did it happen? Like, really understand the decision-making process, the support system. And Key, I think your point's really fair, because after that first suspension, if I'm the owner or the GM, I'm putting in together a process and support structure so he really has a chance to thrive, again, not only on the court, but off the court. So I'd be looking at everything now that it happened a second time.
Neither you or I are in the NFL anymore, so it doesn't matter. You can open up the book to me, because I never asked Coach Parcells this, but I know you were part of the front office at the New York Jets.
Grow and develop, and obviously you've made some bad decisions, and candidly, what's the biggest concern, it's more than one. You know, he had the bump in the road a couple of weeks ago. He served a suspension. I think everyone had hoped that lesson learned and we were moving on, but clearly that hasn't happened. So in my experience, when a player's had the same issue more than once, it's very serious. And I think you want to really take a deep dive with him, get him the help that he needs so he could come through this on the other end and have the great career he deserves.
You know, Mike, not to place blame on any one organization or executives or anything like that, but how much do I look at the organization in this situation? And the reason I'm asking you this, because I'm going to ask you something after this to follow up.
He was the number one player on our board. We took him at 13 because we knew he was a great person, a great son to his mother, a great teammate to his teammates, and it was an opportunity. So, look, I don't know what every team does in every situation, but what I can tell you, like, backgrounds are important, and hopefully this situation they can get it solved.
Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN NFL front office insider, joining us here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. MT, I think the NBA has a responsibility here to make a statement that this is not acceptable or allowed. I think
me followed by our security team to find out what I was doing at night and just to figure out who I was. Why was that? Why was that put in place? You can tell me. I ain't gonna get mad.
I really don't know, but I will. But here's what I can say, Key, and to this day, this is true. And I'll bring it forward to Laramie Tunsil, who we drafted in Miami. We do spend a lot of time trying to get to know the people around the players and their backgrounds, their support. One of my big beliefs in life is who you are is how you treat people that can't help you, the waiter, the waitress, the equipment manager. And we spent a lot of time looking at the support system of players. And Laramie Tunsil had a
eyes about here is it's not a Second Amendment conversation. It's a responsible gun owner conversation. And when you start seeing somebody who flippantly is playing with guns after they've gone through a series of pushbacks, right, from the league, from their team, the quote-unquote supposed help that he received for a couple of days, which we all know we took for face value, he wasn't really getting help, right? It was more so like, hey, here's what my PR team, we came up with this decision, here's how we're going to present it, and hopefully more back to playing basketball. But there's obviously a problem here. There's a major problem here. And if you were somebody within the league, NBA or NFL, how would you address this from a league perspective?
Yeah, Jay, well, those are good points. I would go to the NBA PA because, again, this is in everyone's best interest. And we talk a lot about this with Jalen Carter in the pre-draft process of the NFL about Jalen Carter's behavior, either directly or indirectly. Two people passed away. And when John Morant is waving a gun the way he has, at least we know of twice, we're not talking about victimless situations. Like, you're talking about worst-case scenario where people...
Is it, though, when you have a good team, a nucleus like this, to just decide you're going to hit the button and blow it up and get rid of everybody and bring in new people?
Yeah, Key, these are really hard conversations. I think Philly's closer to winning than not. And when you have the league MVP and Joel Embiid and you have someone like James Harden, I'm trying to collect maybe another player or two. Is Dame Lillard available? What point guard can we get? Because if you go the other way and start trying to rebuild again, this team's been through the process. It seems now, for this entire century, they haven't been to a conference final since I think it's 2001, and we're all good. Like, clearly there is something systemically wrong here, between him and maybe it's the people he's hanging out with, or it's a combination of both. And he needs a lot of help here, and whether it's a suspension, whether it's mandatory therapy or a combination thereof, it's the team. Candidly, it should be the agent, it should be the league, and the Players Association all working together. So hopefully, guys, in 3 months, 6 months from now, this is a great lesson learned, and he can have a fulfilling life off the court and hopefully win championships on the court. But I agree, this can't be taken lightly, one, because we're talking about guns, and secondly, it's happened more than once.
Mike, the Philadelphia 76ers had another disappointing season, and you've been in situations where you've had to make adjustments in the offseason and talk to coaches and players, not bring them back.
Milwaukee, it's Miami, and it's the Celtics. We're right there. Again, this was Game 7. Jason Tatum had a historic game. I think they're closer, not further away. I was disappointed and surprised what Harden said about Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is a championship coach, so that was disappointing. But to me, I'm trying to get one more piece to bring in and not dismantle this team that, in my opinion, is pretty close.
Well, how would you handle that based on what James Harden had to say, because he did take a shot at Doc Rivers? How would you handle that as a general manager if you believe your coach is still the coach, but you do need that guy in James Harden to get better and be better to help out Joel Embiid?
Yeah, Freddie, I would tell him a couple things. One, I'd sit him down place, and you saying something publicly, one, isn't helping our organization. And candidly, James, it's not helping you, because people are going to look at it that you're making an excuse. You could have played better. We could have coached better. I could have been a better general manager. But you don't call people out, and you support your coaches with love and admiration, and there's a time and a place for us to make that decision. Your job is to play. Our job is to evaluate the coach. And what you're saying to the other teams is, like, you're making excuses. So that's not in your best interest or our best interest. So I would nip that in the bud. I was disappointed because I think Doc
He's a great foul, does a great job as an ESPN NFL front office inside. He is Mike Tannenbaum, always gracious with his time, joining us here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. Always a pleasure, Mike. Take care and be well, my friend.
All right, MT.
All right, thanks, guys.
Nice little setup Mike Tannenbaum had back there, hanging out at Casa de Tannenbaum, had the whole thing set up. I'm kind of jealous about that.
You still feel like you're stumbling over my name. Are you afraid you're gonna say Kayshawn?
No, I want to make sure you avoid that whole thing.
So there is a hesitation.
Oh, I didn't deny that.
Hear it. No, I can hear it. That's why I'm like, he getting ready to fumble.
No, I'm not going to fumble
we
that.
can figure this out in therapy for a couple of days. You know, that's all.
This has all the kumbaya moment. You're right, Jay.
We're building.
This has like tree hugging moments written all over that when it comes to Keyshawn's name and my potential fumble when it comes to that. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, Freddie coming in from Max Kellerman on Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Max. And you can't wait, and we can't wait either. When it comes to a call that has a wild conspiracy theory, when it comes to a lottery that does not involve money. That's next on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. It's Keyshawn. Your mama called you Keyshawn.
No, see, it rolled off your tongue better right there. Like you
I didn't realize there was a level rolling off the tongue when it came to your name.
No, you're like Keyshawn, bam, like just smooth.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. What you think, Yates? You think it's like a hesitation or something? I feel like it is.
I mean,
it probably is. I can't dispute that. It probably is.
Got to get the voice warmed up a little bit.
Because I want to make sure that we don't have any kind of conversation about it.
Key, I think it's totally fair because, look,